Hi everybody, welcome to the Gibraltar Open 2020. We have an afternoon match for you. It's Mislav Kovacic from Croatia who will be playing Eric McAlpine from the UK in the fighters bracket. This means that they will be playing to 13 points, and these two guys of course have a long way to go. The fighters bracket means that they lost in the first or second round of the main and now have like 3-4 matches, maybe even 5 matches to win before they can make it to the final 4. There's a handshake, players are ready. We're looking forward to an exciting match. (5-1), it's good to split with the ace in the back. Mislav will run. Running is always best if the opponent has a fourth checker on the 8 points. Both players are much respected, very well composed. It's always a pleasure to watch them. Especially Eric has a very special way of throwing the dice. Making a high anchor is the best he can do with this roll. Mislav's plan is to escape his last checker, but he's looking for something like a 6-5 or a 6-3 to do that. 3-2. Giving up the midpoint is okay if you have established your 18 point. So this is a good containment move. Excellent roll, joker roll for Mislav, hitting and escaping at the same time. That's a miss. Great fun to watch these two players. Mislav, of course, didn't play in the UBC contender tournament because he wanted to be well prepared for the individual tournament. Ironically, then, of course, he lost in the first round to Lars Trabolt. But he is a fighter, theoretically, a perfectionist in my view, and somebody who loves to study. And also the better player, I would say. There's probably not too much between those two players, but I think that still, PR-wise, there is a bit of a difference. Maybe 2 PR points would be my guess. Okay, so Mislav is approaching something that he could maybe double. Still waiting. White has a holding game, the 18-point holding game, and a checker back. This checker back on the 22 point is very valuable because it increases contact value. Eric looks to improve his front position, is what I was going to say, but this double fours may tempt him to run. Important for the players now to do a pip count. 50-60, 102, 110, 114 for red. 114 for red. 56, 92. Yeah, no. Eric is still about between 10 and 15 pips down, so he counted this pretty quickly. and I think correctly decides to stay back. There's not enough race value for Eric to go racing, so he should stay back and hope for a shot. Mislav taking it easy. Four, five. Tricky decision now. Tricky decision. Yes, I think this is justifiable. It looks like white has sufficient contact with the 18 point versus the 13 and 12 point. And the 2 points occupied by red on the left-hand side of your screen. So Mislav is not home yet. This is not exactly what Eric was hoping for. Triple blotting in board is the fastest way to establish a strong board, but it may give Mislav the opportunity to volunteer a shot by maybe clearing already the 13 point. We can safely assume that what Mislav does is correct. To 6 runs. This is interesting. We would have to know exactly what the race is. If Mislav has a substantial race lead, he may go for the pay now play, which would be 13 to 8, 39, volunteering a deuce shot. He decides to wait. I'm not sure about all this. Unfortunately, we don't have extreme gammon, so we have to rely on our own insights. So this is also a timing matter. We would have to do a pip count. What is this? 40, 66, and 18. 84, 89 for white, and this is 45, 46, 80, 90. So about 10 pips, a little under 10 pips. And now Mislav is forced to leave a shot, as we can see. To his relief, white has 2 blots in board, but still I'm not sure exactly what to do. I think one play that jumps out at me is playing 12 to 5. You give 15 shots, but 5s are duplicated, so you need a 5 then to hit, but you also have 5s to either cover the blot on the 5 point or the blot on the ace point. If you play your checker from the 8 point, you only leave 11 shots, aces, but then you haven't achieved much. That's another play. That's a good play. I like it better than my suggestion. You make a 4-point board, and Eric misses. Still the contact between the 18 point and the midpoint remains. So this is a fascinating opening game, a mutual holding game with timing issues. 50, 86 for white. Double threes, so 86 minus 12 is 74. 42. And 14, 57, 79. So a small race lead. This game will probably turn into a race. Once again, the race is the determinant, or determining factor in your checker play. Five-four clears the mid, so we are transposing into a pure race. Mislav, of course, has lots of checkers on his low points. This is called wastage. This is normally something you want to avoid. It compromises your race efficiency. 5-4 is a better than average roll. Mislav has 3 crossovers to go. Eric only 1. That also plays a part. Threes look great. This is an interesting bear-off position. So if you were to go by the pure pip count, I'm sure that Mislav is ahead. But he has to take those extra checkers on the ace and deuce point into account. Most people use something like the Keith count here. I don't have the time to explain it, but the Keith count, you start from your raw pip count and then you add wastage. There is the cube. I would have to do the count myself to be sure. I'm sure that Eric can do it himself, or what is this? 42, 45 plus 6, 51 plus 7 is 58 would be the adjusted pip count for red, I think, 58. We have 44, 53, 54, yes. So according to my quick count, I may be wrong, the Keith count is 58, 54. That means that Mislav is within 4, and that is a clear take in my view. Double sixes is the best he can roll. Okay.
Thank you.
3-1. So an interesting first game with an interesting cube action at the end, which in my view was correct from both sides. It's not over yet though. A high double followed by an ace could still turn the tables. So an ace by Mislav, and then Eric would have 2 outs, but it doesn't happen.
Change the board.
I think we have one viewer for the moment, which is great. It's Rain Baba from the Netherlands. Hi, Rain.
Isn't it enough?
Yes, I could use your assistance here.
I don't see a problem with it.
By the way, talking about assistance, we will of course do our very best to assure co-commentators in the course of the weekend. But in this stage of the tournament,
Okay, sure.
most players are
It's better for the stream.
still quite busy. What's going on?
Sorry, so I didn't hear. Cheers.
Yeah, they're changing the board for some reason.
What's the difference?
Yeah, by the way, Rain, I don't think I'll be coming to the Nordic. It'll be a bit too much. I'll be in Montenegro and in Trier. And as you know, I have other priorities as well. So 2-0 for Mislav.
These cups okay?
In somewhat of a tight opening game.
Let me just.
Yeah, they changed cups, I guess. A lot of controversy, all in a jovial atmosphere. Mislav, of course, from Croatia, very successful a couple of years ago, making it to the late stages of the Nordic Open and being cruelly beaten by Henrik Bang, I think it was. But a lot of experience and a lot of expertise. Fives. Hitting on the ace looks like a good way to go. And where do you play the last five? I would be tempted to play it to the 6 point, but maybe this is better. Yeah, you bring an extra checker into the zone, it's better, and you keep 3 builders. A dance by Mislav. So now Eric has 10 checkers in the zone, a direct shot with a 6 at the second blot, third blot in fact, and point making rolls. Some hesitation when he reached for the cube, but he couldn't withdraw his hand after he touched the cube. Puts his second checker on the bar. Promising. No anchor yet for Mislav, so he will have to sweat this one out. Fives are great. Wow. Double hitting. So Mislav is now in trouble. He does need a 4 or double twos. A dance is his worst. So very promising situation here for Eric. 4 builders for the 5 point, 3 builders for the deuce. We may well see a closeout here in a couple of rolls. Okay. Eric, of course, still has this back checker. This already forces him to put checker on the ace. He doesn't want to roll double 5s or something like that, or maybe even double 4s. A deuce would be big. Double 2s. And no emotion whatsoever on Eric's face. He knows how things can go. Wow. That's a huge super joker, and this is also a great roll by Eric. He needs to jump out, but he is vulnerable to 5s and 4s. Aces are good enough. 4 aces make up 4. 5-4 is a huge hit. Ah, it's 5s. I'm sorry. So a 5 badly required, it's not there. Okay, so Eric can now bear in. That should be a piece of cake. Bearing in against this deuce point anchor. Richard Carter in the chat tells me that Eric's advanced dice shaking technique, which I think is a funny way to put it, forced the change of board. I didn't really notice what happened. We'll have to ask the players afterwards. Michael Nielsen tells us that the round of, in the fighters, they are in the round of 128. So that means still, what is it, 5 or 6 rounds to go. So Eric had to sweat it a little bit after this, after being hit with double deuces. I'm not sure about this. Ace, the 5, you can take it off. I think this is okay. Mislav makes the 5 point. He is fully dependent now on contact equity. This is awkward. Wow, this is a very awkward 4. I didn't see this one coming. So Eric now has a handful of bad rolls. Let's see what rolls out of the cup. 4-1 is good. What to do against the ace-point game? Do you clear the 5? I think I would be tempted to play to clear the 5. Playing 6-1. I'm not good at these things. I would clear the 5. It only has a 6-5 as a block lever, I think. So some turbulence also in this second game. But I love the way that Eric at least deals with these anti-jokers so stoically. Now staring at his opponent, as we can see. I don't think he is consciously staring at Mislav to try to unbalance him. It's more out of interest, I think. I really can't help laughing if I see Eric's shaking technique. He has also a tendency to look away from his roll. As the dice roll into the board, and most people eagerly look at what the outcome of their shake is, and he has a tendency to look away for a moment as if he couldn't care less what rolls out of his cup. Great player to watch. Okay, bad rolls are imaginable here. 6-4 looks like that's a great one. 6-4 would have left 2 blocks. So once again, players are here in the no skill phase of the game. Mislav is concentrating now on strengthening his board rather than bringing checkers in on the highest point, because he feels that he can't save the gammon anyway. Okay, things are still going Eric's way. He needs to avoid an ace on the next roll. Double aces, of course, would be nice. Anything else is bad. That's 9 shakes out of 36. So a 25% chance of leaving a shot. 30% of these shots get hit, so that's an 8% chance of being hit. There is the ace. So should Mislav now hit, that would be a 10-1 or a 9-1 sequence. Ace would be cruel for Eric, but it's missed. Eric was ready for it though. Okay, Mislav resigns a gammon. 4-2 after 2 games. So this is a mid-afternoon session, so to speak. At 6 o'clock, of course, the UBC Contender Tournament will continue with commentary by expert players. I think Mark Olsen, together with Mochi, will be commentating, maybe assisted by Nick Blazier. That should be on at 6 o'clock. Let's hope that this match is finished by then. But I'm sure these 2 players won't especially rush to get it done before 6. So we may look at some delay. 4-3 is interesting. Will he split and hit? No, Mislav chooses the pure play and looks a bit irritated by certain things. I don't know what. I saw a slight trace of irritation. Eric had a choice here between anchoring up or hitting. Hitting is correct, I think. Same choice for Mislav. Goes for the hit. In the early stage of the game, when no points, extra points have been made, hitting is mostly correct. So we call this a blot fest, or a hitting contest. Yeah, here there are also options. You could anchor and slot, but Mislav decides to keep hitting. Finally, the hitting stops. The 6 has to go to the 18, I think. So finally, this storm abates. And due to all this hitting in the early stage here, the 3, 4, 5 rolls of hitting, this double 6 now seems to look pretty awkward. Probably double hitting and pointing on the ace is a possibility. I don't know. I would have to study this. Let's see what Mislav can come up with. I think pointing on the ace and putting 2 checkers on the bar is too rich. You should probably make the 18 points and your bar points. This is what the little wave of the hand of Mislav suggested. Aha, that's another option. That's another option which I like better. Red has 10 checkers in the zone, so there is blitz danger. A third checker on the bar. Okay. Play looks okay to me. You don't want to spend 4 minutes trying to figure this one out, I think. So nice attacking formation here. I think I would venture a cube. Right or wrong. 10 checkers in the zone, 2 on the bar, stronger board, and a nice numbers diversification. As you can see, Mislav can hit with the 5 in the outfield and has 4s, 3s and aces to hit on the 5 point. This is a complex position, I think, but there are too many gammons. Still, it is often said that 2-point boards are always takes. And there is some inflexibility and awkwardness in Mislav's position. 5 checkers on the 6, blots on 8 and 9, a deep deuce point, 2 checkers back on the 24. Question is, how heavy do these imperfections weigh? I'm surprised, well, not surprised, I'm curious. Eric takes. I think he judges that Red's position was too compromised. You see, double 3s don't work as perfectly as they would have if Red had still had his 8 point. So this is complex. First thing that jumps out at me would be to hit on the 5 and to make the 3. And I think then you anchor up in the back. You can bring an extra 3 down from the mid, but then you strip, you give up your midpoint with 3 checkers back. This is not advisable. So maybe there are hidden tactical possibilities in this position. So there's Mislav's finger. That would be very aggressive. But it may well be right. It may well be right. Go full out for the blitz. I think I would risk it. It's thematic. You are blitzing after all, so bringing more checkers into the attacking zone looks good to me. Eric enters with 1 number, 6-2. This points on the 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you need to do. And Eric now badly needs a 5 or aces. A 5 and an ace. So this takes the sting out of Mislav's attack. With 4s he will continue. Blitz, wow. He can, I think you should point. What a fantastic roll. Super joker. This is an option. Wow, Mislav decides to... I mean, I think this is a mistake. I think it's a mistake, I'm not sure. But he could have made a 5-point board and made his 5 point. Did he overlook that? Or was his intention to keep Eric from anchoring? Wow, this is a checker play that looked very dubious to me, but now you shift, I think. What an amazing game. First game was already a bit extraordinary. The second one was very volatile and had jokers from both sides. And this one is very unusual, a failed blitz. Sondre Rikke tells me he couldn't make the 5-point board. Was that big? I think he entered with 1 checker from the bar and then could have played 13-5, 9-5. Maybe I didn't see it correctly. Wow, and Michael Nilsson tells us that the cube was a huge pass, 400 plus millipoints. That's a quadruple blunder. I think that Eric was misled by the structural imperfections in Mislav's play. He entered with 2 checkers. Thank you, Malta Backgammon. Thank you. Okay. So this is complex. I mean, Mislav has to, on the one side, he wants to continue his blitz, but he has little chance of succeeding. Wow, there's the ace anchor. Mislav with 6 checkers back. You have to bring one to the 11 points, I think. This is mandatory. Anchoring, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about any checker play here, except for bringing the second builder to aim at the 6 point. Enters on the 6. Aces and 5s required from Mislav. That's a miss. I think the best you can do is make your bar. The bar is certainly valuable. But where to play the other deuces, I'm not sure there is much in it. But this is such an unusual position. But if somebody can find the right moves here, it is definitely Mislav. I think it's wise to make the bar. You gain immensely should Eric come in with an ace now. Then you have those 3 checkers blocked on the 24 point. That's a huge upside. I think I would play this and 24 to 20. I like this play. Of course, you would like to establish some outfield presence. That's another option. I think I would personally even consider playing 20 to 16, but that would be too rich, I'm sure. You have to maintain some structure. Okay, Mislav, I don't think you can figure this one out. This is so complex, so I would not invest big chunks of my time. Okay. There's the 6. Wow. Wow. This game can now take us anywhere. Huh. Of course, the important thing for Eric is that he survived the blitz. He was on the verge of being closed out, but came in with a crucial 5-1 from the bar. That saved his skin temporarily. And how this game will continue, nobody knows. I'm not sure, though, whether the 4 that Eric played from 6 to 2 is correct. He has 2 points in mid board. I think he could have played a little slightly more pure. Do you play the 5 up from the back, or do you play 13-8? Yeah. It all depends on the race once again. I'm not sure. Red has 5 checkers back, so that's about 100 pips over there, sorry. 100 pips and 40, so 140 pips for red, and white has 105. 160, 164. So there's only maybe now between 15 and 20 pips difference. So I think that Eric's play was correct, coming up from the back and fighting for the outfield. Three 6-6s and 3. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's much else. Okay. The least we can say is that this is another option. Yes, you could use your 6 to continue blitzing, but there may be value in it because Eric has another blot under attack. The other option is to play your 6 24 to 18. This is a position where I know that I don't know. So I would just do something and push my clock. There's no way I can figure out what's correct here. Do you continue the blitz? You hope for a dance, but then he has to dance 3, 4, 5 times. But it may well be right. It may well be right. Mislav has the stronger board, and white has a second blot. I think I might be tempted to hit here. But maybe there are tactical things going on, like certain numbers which don't play well for white. I'm not good at that. Some numbers that don't play well for white. Sixes maybe, I'm not sure. Yes, sixes. Double six would put two more checkers on the deuce point. That would be ugly. But how to weigh these considerations is beyond me. So I think I would do one of two things: hit or out. But I would do it within. Voila, I like it. Mislav, do it. Push your clock and see what happens. A dance would breathe new life into the blitz. So now a 6 is great and a deuce also. Oh, 4-2, it's a joke. What to do? Yes. Do what's most difficult first. I like it. I like this. So now Eric badly needs a 6. Yes. So the blitz is back on. Amazing. You have to stay back with your checker on the 24 point. You must keep pressure on that blot. You want to hit it, so Eric has 2 checkers on the bar, which would give you time to bring your checkers home. No 6. No deuce. You can make the midpoint. I like this too. Okay. Thank you, Emad, for your commentary. I think it's also a skill to know when your skill is insufficient. Like in back games, and there's no use trying to figure out for a player like me whether hitting or not is correct in a back game. It would take me minutes, and then I could just come up with the wrong answer anyway. So I would just do something within like 20 seconds, and with a bit of luck, it's correct. So this game is taking a lot of energy, especially from Mislav. This is not a game where you can easily recognize patterns or reference positions. It's daunting, the complexity. Okay, Eric now. Apologizing. But the deuce is still not there. Question is, how long can Mislav wait for that deuce to come? There's not much danger in staying back. So this gives 4 shots. There is a 6 with the hit even. Yeah. You have to leave a shot anyway, so you might as well hit. So more shots now for Mislav. The 3. And now there's another checker. So now Mislav decides it's time to start bearing his checkers in. it's a fun game. It's a fun game for spectators. Mislav, of course, very determined. Very determined. Like I said, he sacrificed good chances of competing in the UBC contender tournament. I rank him as one of the players who would stand a chance, definitely, to make it to the final four and even win it. But he enjoys the format of the Gibraltar tournament. 17-point matches in the main and 13-point matches in the fighters. He likes the format. He didn't want to spend too much energy in the UBC tournament. It may be a choice that he regrets slightly, and maybe next year he will make another choice. Eric, in the meantime, 2 checkers on the bar, gammon danger. Well, I can see a remark from Patrick Bertrand. He says that in such complex games, you wish you have more time on the clock. That sounds plausible, but I'm not sure I agree. Because these games are so complex that if you have more time on the clock, you will just spend more time staring at the position and not finding a solution. The likelihood of finding the right play is so low that maybe it's better that players don't have too much time. Just my idea. Okay, the 3 goes to the 5-point and the 2 approaches. Wow, what a game. I can't see any other turn of events coming up. Mislav just has to make sure he doesn't leave a double 6, right? So double 6 plays well, double 5, everything plays well. I love your commentaries at home, guys. It's true that Eric used to be a squash player, and he is demonstrating his technique. Maybe it's from his squash days. The backhand. Yep. Immaculately executed. Okay, so even here, with the game almost wrapped up, Mislav is giving this careful thought. But there cannot be much in it here. As long as you make sure you don't have block levers, you should be okay. Now, Mislav does have block levers, 3 high doubles. That danger has gone. Fives. I was already thinking a little bit about the backgammon. The backgammon is in the picture. It is still possible. 2 doubles required from Mislav for a backgammon. Not there. What a game. I mean, you don't see most matches. Games are pretty predictable, and players can recognize patterns. But this was a failed blitz. I think this is the category that we need to put this game in, a failed blitz. The attacking players was sent back all the time and ended up with 7 checkers back. It cost Mislav about 8 minutes to play this game. 7 away, 9 away. 6-4 to Mislav Kovacic. Eric, of course, has fought many battles, so he knows full well that matches can turn spectacularly. Let's just think back at the match that Thomas Muir played yesterday against Chris Rogers, coming back from 12-0 down with only a couple of minutes on the clock and winning it 17-15. Vintage Thomas Muir. So matches can turn. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And it's a great asset of every player, of any player, to be able to cope with all these swings. Mislav deciding not to go for the blitz this time with a 6-1, preserving structure. Pointing is right. I think, Eric, you can make the 4 point as well. Good question. Do you want to counter prime? Making the 4 point looks like a priming move. I think the structure, White's structure, is so ugly that switching from a priming to a blitzing game plan is pretty valid. Not sure about this. Might well be right. 4-3 is big roll. No such luck for Eric. He needs to advance his back checkers for timing reasons. The 1. Yes. So the same strategy seems to apply for Eric. Inflexible structure, and you love to employ your checkers by attacking instead of priming. An ace is important for Eric. He will be happy with that. Five. Okay, coming up with the 5 and stepping up, there's nothing else. So 60, 112, 111, 137 for White. 54, 94, 130. Close race with a slight edge. About 10 pips, I would guess, for red. Anchor is great. And then stack the 6. Okay, mutual holding game. Some sigh of relief also for me. I know more what to talk about in mutual holding games than in these complex failed blitz positions like we saw a moment ago. Six-5. Yep, 2 checkers to the 7 and 8 is possible. Especially if you are down in the race. If you are up in the race, you could consider jumping out with 2. If you are far up in the race. the player's job to count. Eric decides to hold on to his anchor. So a good rule of thumb in holding games is that as long as you can strengthen your board or play your roles constructively and do something, build an asset or something, you should just sit on your anchor. I already mentioned it a couple of times, these types of games have the reputation of being boring, but when you are confronted with a timing issue and you need to decide whether to run off your anchor or not, you may be in trouble. Double fives, of course, solves a lot of problems. Huge joker. So now it's all about the race. Mislav rolls another set of fives and should now be in double pass territory. $68 and 16, it's 84, 44, 84, 97. 44, 84, 97 for white, 68 and 14, 82, 94. Yep, cube is good. Difficult, a difficult decision for Eric. Race is close, well close. 82, 94, 12 pips. And some contact value, but a compromised home board. It's always important if you depend on contact value to have a look at your board. If you get a shot and you hit it, do you win then? Or does your opponent still have possibilities? Also, the score is important. Yeah, Eric is fidgeting. This is a difficult one. It's a difficult one. $82, 44, 84, 97. Ah, it's 82, 97, I think. 44, 84, 97. I think it's a drop. So, oh, people say I would take. My viewers or our viewers disagree with me. They confidently say it's a take. I think I would have dropped if it's like 13 pips. We'll have to check this later with XG. Interesting position. Aha, somebody agrees with me in the chat. Emat Salip says he thinks it's a pass. But Eric took is what I now see. Okay, and of course his contact value has increased with these stripped points in front of him. Mislav needs to avoid fives. Is something that I can see. There is a 5, so you cleared 8. Yeah. 3-1 is great. I slot, I think. There's no reason not to slot. This cannot be right. This is, I think, this is a bit meek. Why don't you slot? It would even be better for the bear off. Wow. Okay, we get feedback on the cube action. Somebody used XG Mobile, said it would have been a blunder to drop it. 115 millipoints. I might well have taken it. Or made that blunder, I would say. Eric had about a little under 24% in that position. Very interesting position it was. Combination of race equity and contact value. Eric played that very well. No use in staying back, Eric decides. An interesting cube. An interesting cube. And we're looking at probably at an 8-4 lead from Mislav. Very interesting score, by the way, 9 away, 5 away. Looking forward to the next game. Six. It's still possible, believe it or not. Yeah, it is still possible. 2 consecutive aces and 2 high numbers. It's not going to happen here. If you think it never happens, just watch the video on YouTube. The final I played in Paris 2-3 weeks ago, WBGF European Championship final against Ralph Jonas. It happened to Ralph. He was in exactly that same position, 3 checkers on the deuce and 1 on the ace, and I had 8 checkers left. He rolled 2 consecutive aces and I rolled 2 high doubles. How lucky can you get? Okay, we'll take a short break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thanks for your input and for watching this match together. Bye.
stones, laying flower beds. You arranged our dream, you arranged them to fit. It's creative fingers green, like the perfect mother I'd ever seen. Creature comforts when we're cold, a cocoon to curling cuddle folds. And when the crease sheets cover up our shoulders, enveloped, we almost forget to breathe.
Now
Are we ready? Okay. Okay, folks, we're back for the continuation of this match. We have seen some extraordinary and very exciting out-of-the-box games. And Mislav has established a 4-point lead. He is now 5 away, 9 away. So the red player, Mislav, should definitely be more conservative with the cube, because the trailer, Eric, has a big recube vig. So let's see how this one goes. Yeah, playing the ace. You might be tempted to slot. I can see. The other option would be to play 11 to 10, which duplicates sixes. Yeah, I like this play because of the duplication. That's another option. Interesting play by Mislav. I'm not sure about this, Eric. Could well be right, but you could also have hit with the 4 and made your bar point. It turns out that Eric went for the better play. Eric is already considering a cube. Red has 3 blocks, but he has an anchor. Eric decides to wait. 6-5, you can point on the deuce, or you can double hit. Not easy. Normally, it's better to point in the board, because you put a checker on the bar and make a point at the same time. But of course, Mislav would then have entry numbers which also make his bar point or his 11 point. I think this is a good solution. See, there is the entry number which makes the bar. Great roll, aces, and making the bar. If Mislav, I think making, yeah, this might well be right also, but making the bar I think is better. Should Mislav enter with an ace, the bar point will prove very valuable. No downs, but no way to safety the blot on the 11. Now I think you could consider cubing. 6s and 3s hit. Stronger board. Race advantage. And about 24 shots. I like the cube. The take looks obvious. 3 and 6 would have been a great joker. The 3. I think you continue with the ace. So you have an extra builder for the 3 points. Wow. Great hit by Mislav. 4-5, perfect roll, probably the best in the book. So that was not a favorable sequence for Eric. One dance by Mislav could have turned the tables differently. Eric now hopes for a roll which contains a 6. You have to come in with a deuce and play the 5 out. I don't think there's another option. So counterplay. Double sixes, making the 9, establishing a 4 prime. But Eric has double shots, 6s and aces. Wow. Yeah, you make the 4, I agree. You have more checkers back, you are probably now a bit down in the race, so you can play bold. 5-4. Yeah. Okay. Of course, Mislav has to be careful with the cube. Recubing to 4, you cannot do that as long as there is contact. Yeah, there's nothing else but play like this. Eric has a very threatening board, so Mislav should aim for safety. Difficult. Eric needs to count the race. Great roll from Mislav, making another point in board. So at a normal score, Mislav would be approaching a cube, but of course his recube vig is severely compromised here. Mislav needs another improvement. (13-7) is an option, but then you get hit by a 5-4 and or a 6, a 5-3 or a 6-2. So another option would be to play it perfectly safe, playing 7-1. These are always difficult. Do you volunteer the 4 shots now, or do you wait a roll? Let's see what Mislav comes up with. So maybe playing 7-1 is too inflexible, but it has the advantage of being safe for the moment. Now Mislav has to clear the midpoint, and here are the 4 shots, the 4 winning shots. For Eric, they are not there, they don't come. Ah, yeah, 4 down and the 6 goes to the ace. Yep. Now something will have to give. Eric will either have to break his board or, yeah, 1, 2, and the 6 point has to go. Still too early for Mislav to cube. There's too much contact value here. I think as white, if you get the 4 cube here, you just have to take it. There are certainly, wow, he does give the cube. Eric will now have to do a number reading and see how many rolls leave shots. What do we see? 6, 4, is that a shot lever? 6, 5. How about 5, 4? These rolls leave shots, albeit maybe indirects. So Mislav is putting the match on the line. Difficult cube. Difficult cube. And if you take it and you lose the game, you are 9 away, 1 away Crawford. If you drop, you are 9 away, 4 away. Is there sufficient contact value for Eric to take this one? This is tactical. Eric has a lot of time. He can go through all the numbers. 6-1 plays fine. 6-2 goes to the ace, I think. You can point, but then you leave shots. 3-5, 3-3, 6-3, makes the 3, 6-4 points. Five, 1, leaves a shot. So this is complicated, this is tactical. I think I would feel a bit helpless over the board when facing a cube like this. I don't think I have any confidence about whether this is a take or a drop. I get some input from Christopher Hedberry, who says that it's a big drop. 140 millipoints. That's a strong drop by Eric. Very good, very good. Doesn't want to gamble it all away on this one game. 9 away, 4 away is still very playable. Gutsy cube also by Mislav. I think he knew that it was a drop and decided to give it. Somebody else says that it was a no-read double take according to ++. Now I get some conflicting information here. One person saying it's a big drop, the other guy saying it's a no-read double take. Confusion all over the place. One-sided match for the moment. Eric needs a break. With a break I mean a turn of fortune. Okay. Aha. Correction in the chat. Somebody says he forgot it was a redouble and not an initial double. These details matter. So a very bold play by Eric. I think he is justified in playing like this. He has more checkers back, a high anchor, and a raise deficit. This indicates a bold play, and Mislav misses but makes his 4 point. Where does the last deuce go? Do you step up in the back to see daylight? Fives. So Eric can't hit. Okay, that looks good to me. Improving the board and waiting for a shot. Mislav can't escape, but improves his position, priming structure now. Maybe jumping out now is okay now, I'm not sure. Ah, yes, you can play it like this too. Probably better. It's anti-thematic to jump out to the 18 point if you are down in the race. 68 and 48, what's that? 116, 137, 90. The race is closer than I thought. So maybe jumping out is not so bad, I'm not sure. I think this play has merit. Okay, 4-1. If Mislav decides to hit, he will leave at least some indirects. Making the bar looks strong. You give 8 shots, and there's also rolls like aces, which are good. 5-2. I think you need to hit. That's another option, yes, 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 yes. Not sure about this. There is another blot, there is another red blot, so this may be an argument in favor of hitting. Putting your opponent off balance. The opponent has 9 dancing numbers, 25%, which give you a big upside. This is the cautious approach. It gives Mislav the opportunity to consolidate all the way to the mid, I would say. 13 shots now for Eric. They're not coming. Things are not really going Eric's way. So this is now a holding game, with red having achieved full freedom. All his checkers have reached the midpoint. So it's now just a matter of how far ahead is Mislav before he can cube. Of course, this score is different from a moment ago, when the score was 5 away, 9 away. This is now 4 away, 9 away. This means that White's take point is significantly higher than normal. The dead cube take point is about 27%, I think. Could even be 28. That's of course not calculating any recube vig, but There is not much recube vig in these holding games. Typically, you cannot recube before you hit a shot. So the race is all important here. Mislav decides he doesn't have enough of a race lead to consider giving the cube yet. $73, 91, 103. Looks like 103 for red. And this is 484 and 108. So only 5 pips. Wow, and 6s are a market loser if Eric cannot reply with another high double. 6-3 is not enough. So the game should be over after this roll. I think this is a double pass. 63, 67 and 12 is 79. Yeah, 79, 50, 90, 99. Yeah, 20 pips, too much. Eric cannot take this. He has to let it go. So Mislav is steamrolling on. Is now 2 away, 9 away. Eric has put on his sunglasses now. Let's see if that can turn the tables. A less than average roll for Mislav for a change. Okay, so now Eric should know that if he turns the cube, his gammons against don't count. And this is a gammonish position, but he does need at least, I'm not sure whether this is already enough. I like the cube though. It's probably a very easy take, but he has some pick and pass numbers. This is a good one. Hitting, making the 5. Or can you double hit? I think you need to make the 5. And the last 3, yep. I agree with this play. Mislav cannot afford to dance. Eric would be happy to get missed here. If he gets missed, he has good prospects. That's a hit though. Okay, many re-hits. A good 4. And Eric is adding some panache to his game. Another hit by Mislav. A re-hit. Yeah, I think you need to keep attacking. Aha. So a miss by Mislav, and it's also a roll which doesn't anchor. So this opens perspectives for Eric. Yeah, for lack of anything better to do, putting the opponent off balance by hitting and putting him on the bar. 5-2 misses from the bar but makes the bar point, I think. We can see Eric's index finger. He can also, of course, choose to continue attacking with red's blot. Yeah, there may be value in that play. I'm not sure whether it's correct. Another hit from the bar by Mislav. So we are once again in a game with multiple checkers back on white's side, a miss, and a very unproductive 6. Things are really not going Eric's way for the moment. He badly needs a bit of luck. 4-2. I think that hits in the outfield and makes the 4 points. Another ugly, well, there is a good 6. This is the one. It's a great roll. I think you just escape to the midpoint and hope to survive. No 5 for Eric. It's a bit extreme. I think the luck rate will be a bit, what's the word, skewed in Mislav's favor. I'm guessing something like +4 or maybe even +5 luck rate. There's nothing you can do. Deuces. Okay. 1. What to do? Make the deuce point and establish a second anchor in board? Probably. I don't know what is stronger, making a, what is it, a 5-3 backgammon structure, or keeping your goalkeeper back like this and preserving some flexibility. Probably better. So Mislav now just trying to bring his checkers home. He has a huge race advantage. Wow, Eric would have hoped to just jump in the outfield with his spare from the golden point, but not even that. Yeah. Great shot of Eric. (4-1). Yes, typically I think you don't want to hit that checker on the 12. I think Mislav will refrain from hitting, because if you hit, you give the opponent a chance to come in with an ace and suddenly establish a 1-5 backgammon structure with reasonable timing. So that was a good play by Mislav. (5-2). Aha, that looks like a shot lever to me. Ah, sorry, it's 5-2 for Eric. Deuces. All the way to the 9 points. It's probably best. Sixes is not what Eric wants. I think he is forced to go with these checkers. So he is now shot dependent. Good players can immediately see which rolls leave shots here. What is it? Something with a 5 maybe? 6-5. Looks like leaving a shot. 5-3 points. Can either point on the ace or make the 3 point. I think pointing on the ace is best because you force the goalkeeper forward. Ideally, as red, you would want white to come in on the 20 point with a 5-6 or a 5-4 or a 5-1. Three is better. Four, 1 clears the 10 points. That's a good roll from Mislav. He'll be happy with that. Now 6s force Eric off his anchor, but this is a 2-5. That's a good roll, improving his board. 6-4. You cannot point. The only thing you can do is this. 6-3, that's one of those rolls which force Eric off the 20 point. So another good roll, better than average roll for Mislav, and we may be looking at the end of this game, but 4-2 is not one of them. 4-2, I think you have to play it safe, of course you have to play it safe. The question is how. That's very awkward. Okay, so with 5 checkers on the low points, Eric's contact value has increased. Double 6s. Is he forced to go with both? No, he cannot go with both. He's forced to do it like this. So now he is really dependent on an a bad roll from Mislav. 6-5 points. Only 5-3 can save Eric's skin here. Hi, hey Michi. We are approaching the end of the game. Thank you for joining me. But it looks like this will be a wrap for Mislav. Mislav has really been very lucky in this match. We have seen some extraordinary games, very failed blitz with 7 checkers back, amazing match.
7 checkers back?
Yes, so
wow.
Failed blitz and then having sent 7 checkers back, very tactical, very difficult. And this is probably the end of the game. 2 away, 9 away, cube is with Mislav.
Yeah.
Eric has slight racing chances.
But he has a big chance to hit. Not of course big, but
he should stay back.
Immediate, yeah. Some bad numbers, yeah. 6-1, 6-2, 6-4, 5-1, 4-1. So obviously he must stay.
Of course, I agree. So it's great to have Michi here with us. Suddenly. Too bad that the match is almost over.
Yeah.
Eric, that would be a big mistake in your opinion to run?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he does run.
Wow. How many racing chance?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he probably has less than 10%.
Oh, but
Eric?
maybe more than 10%.
Because of the wastage. Is that why?
Yeah. And the gap on the 5 point.
Yes. Okay, glimmer of hope.
Good start.
Yes.
Mislav. Oh, it's a pretty good number.
Yes, excellent. So a high double. 4-3.
Yeah. So Mislav has
6-5. Yeah.
okay. So now he has
9 checkers versus 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
X also have. Well, he has 7. So double 6 will give him a great. Oh.
No. It's like. Eric has to, yeah,
Yeah, double 6 is mandatory, or double 3.
double 3, okay.
Yeah, double 5, of course.
5, 4.
It's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe then 6-5 will be a great winner.
Ah, yes.
Ah,
Okay.
no, sorry. 6-5 is not enough, yeah.
Fives! What does that do? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
He will need another double.
Yep, any double.
Any double. 6 rolls. 6 rolls or the match is
Okay,
over.
so we can, they can play more, or
It's not there for Eric.
Uh-huh.
Wow, this was a rough and tough road for Eric. I mean, I thought that the luck rate will probably be something like +5 or something for Mislav.
Okay. Yeah, because they are both they are so good players. So
Yes.
if the score has such a big difference, the luck rate must be pretty big.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. So this was an entertaining match. Too bad Michi showed up slightly late, but now that you are here, Michi, and we have some viewers, probably not 600 or something, maybe 6 or so, I'm not sure. But maybe I can ask you for your thoughts about what's going to happen at 6 o'clock?
Oh, okay. So actually, it's already 6 o'clock. So actually, I'm waiting for their match.
Okay.
So after they finish, we start.
Okay, good.
That's why.
You feel confident?
Yeah.
You are excited? You are looking forward to it?
Yeah, actually, I'm excited.
Okay. It will be great to watch.
Yeah. I have such a good opponent. Yeah.
Yes, wow, 2 of the absolute strongest players in the world fighting for this title, the UBC title, or for a place at least in the final.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best.
Oh, it's a semi-final.
Semi-final,
Yeah.
yes, for a place in the final.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Michel.
We're looking forward to a great match. Thank you guys at home for watching. See you later. Enjoy the match coming up.
See you later.
Bye.